Well, the state legislature will address where things went wrong last week for Texas as far as providing power. It resulted in millions without electricity and dozens of deaths. Here in response to what Governor Abbott was saying earlier tonight is State Representative Donna Howard. Representative, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's your reaction to what the governor had to say?
Well, first off, I agree with the governor that this was a catastrophic event that was devastating to many Texans. Some Texans lost their lives. We must find answers and we must find solutions. I appreciate that he's made it an emergency item to deal with weatherization. I think that's obviously something we've all recognized as one of the critical parts of why this even happened. But one of the things that I think we have to do a better job of here in investigating this, which we intend to start doing tomorrow in our committee hearing, is looking at the very complicated system of electric provision in our state, energy provision in our state. And the fact is that ERCOT is an easy place to point a finger, but they're only one of many entities that are involved in the whole system of delivering energy in Texas. We need to be looking at the Public Utilities Commission, the PUC, which is 3 commissioners who are appointed by the governor and who oversee ERCOT. We need to be looking at the Railroad Commission, which has 3 statewide elected officials. They are responsible for the gas lines and the delivery of the gas, which did not get to our power generating plants and was part of the issue. Indeed, we did have some cold that affected every type of power generation in our state, including renewables. But renewables were not expected to be a large part of the mix during winter. They do a great job during summer. They're not counted on as much in winter. What we did have, though, all of them had lost some of their capacity. But the biggest challenge that we had, the biggest loss we had, was with the thermal energy, the coal, the nuclear. These were the plants, the gas. These were the plants that we had challenges with and that lost power and went offline. And we have to look at not only the ERCOT, PUC, and Railroad Commission, but we have to look at the legislature. We have to look at ourselves. What role did we play? What role did the governor play in not ensuring that we had systems in place that were going to provide reliable energy to Texans and not have something like this happen, which was preventable if appropriate planning had been made?
What basic questions do you have for state and energy officials over what happened last week?
Well, I think we clearly want to know, what were they anticipating? What was their plan? How are they going to respond to these intense, severe weather events that we're having more of as a result of climate change? What did they have in place? And then specifically leading up to this particular event, we knew ahead of time that this weather was coming. What did they do to look at making sure that their part in this whole big puzzle piece of delivering energy, what did they do to make sure that things were ready? Because clearly they were not. And again, I think that there's a lot of blame to share here amongst all of us about why it didn't happen the way it should have. But we're going to have to ask, what were the plans? What didn't happen? Where were the problems? How can we fix those? What do we need to do to move forward to ensure this won't happen again? And certainly, as the governor has said, part of that has to do with weatherization. We have to be prepared. It's not just the power plants, it's also the gas lines, the wellheads that froze, that prevented us from getting the gas we needed to the electric generation plants.
Yeah, okay. We are out of time. State Representative Donna Howard, District 48, thank you for speaking with us about this. And yeah, it's going to be a huge topic for this session. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.